What's going on, everybody? This is Matt Does Fitness, and earlier this week I witnessed a prison breakout. At one point, a midget was climbing down the perimeter fence and he sneered at me. Thought to myself, that's a little condescending. Okay, this is my squat highlights from week 2 of my cycle. Haven't named it yet. Probably never will, but it's exciting to think of different potential names. This is the first of my 2 squat sessions in the week, and this was 4 sets of 3 at 175 kilos, 386 pounds. It was meant to be 5 sets of 3, but I got to 4 sets, and I was pretty pleased, to be honest, just to get that alone. It was fairly early in the day, so I thought I wouldn't push my luck. My form was getting a little bit ugly on the last sets, obviously very heavy or reasonably heavy, so I didn't want to risk it, but I'm really pleased to get there. At the start of the year, this was miles more than I could lift for 1 rep, so to be getting it now for 4 sets of 3 is massively pleasing, and it's comfortably more than I was lifting before I set my 430 pound PR before holiday. So as with my other lifts, it's looking very good. I'm really pleased. It was also decent just in the fact that, like I said, it was early in the day. When I squat early in the day, normally it doesn't always feel great. I'm always a little bit kind of apprehensive, particularly like squatting heavy. I'm always worried it's not going to feel good. I'm not going to be able to get decent reps in. But yeah, so to get these in obviously gives me a lot of confidence, because I know when it comes to competing, squats are always first, and obviously sometimes they can be early, like reasonably early morning. So it's important I have the ability to do that. And yeah, I nailed these 4 sets of 3. I probably could have squeezed out a 5th one if I'd really wanted to, but like I said earlier, I didn't want to risk it, and I'm really pleased to get these ones. My form was pretty decent, with the exception of the last set. Here is the 4th set. Here you see it's a little bit ugly, twist around a little bit. More importantly, my back, a couple of times I kind of almost had to catch the bar where I was leaning forward a little bit too much, and I could feel my kind of lumbar spine having to really, my kind of thoracic extensors having to really work hard to hold the bar up, which I think I was a little bit sore. My back was a little bit tight anyway, which obviously explains that. But yeah, the fact that I got all of those in, I'm well pleased with. I then did some accessory work in the form of pause squats. I did 3 sets of 3 at 130 kilos, which is 287 pounds, I think. They felt really good. Obviously, I'm squatting to full depth, and I'm doing my pause squats at full depth as well, and everything's feeling really nice. I'm getting a tiny bit of soreness in my quad tendons, but nothing major, and it's not getting worse. It's just kind of there, so it's not really anything that I'm concerned about. I'm sure it'll go away at some point. Now, moving on from there, I did some accessory work, and I did, as you can see here, some wide grip chin-ups. I did 3 sets of, I think, about 15 down to about 12 or 13 down to about 10, and then I finished the session with what you're about to see here, some bent over rows with a wide grip. I'm doing a lot of my back stuff, my back accessory work with a wide grip, purely because I feel like that's a big weakness of mine. I've said it before, but I'm trying to correct that. My form here, to be fair, is not great, but at this point I was pretty hammered after that session, and I was just trying to get it done rather than massively worry about my form. Okay, here is the second session of the week, and this was another pleasing one. I did 5 sets of 5, as you can see there, at 167.5 kilos, which is 375 pounds, I think. And again, that is a rep PR for me, which I'm absolutely delighted with. Before I went away, I got 5 sets of 5 at slightly less weight, about 6 pounds less than this, and I was massively pleased with that. That was a really big landmark for me. And going into this session, I was a little bit nervous about doing this weight because I wasn't convinced I'll be able to get it. I was going to stay at the previous one I'd done, but at the last, literally I was about to go into my first set, and I just thought, you know what, I'll go for it, because I find it very hard to get motivated to lift, particularly squats, when I know it's not going to be any kind of rep or single PR. I find it hard to really get up for it when I know it's something I've done before. So I thought putting that extra bit of weight on it is going to give me that motivation to do it, and it ended up working. After the 3rd set, I was pretty wiped out, but I forced myself to get all 5 sets of 5, and I'm so pleased I did that because, like I said, it's a big rep PR for me. And again, it's more than I did, as with the last session, more than I did leading up to my squat single PR. You can see there, the same as was the case with the last session, my back is kind of almost caving a bit. It's where my back is sore and tired from the deadlifts earlier in the week. Here, that was the case. I'm leaning forwards a little bit too much, and then I'm having to almost do like a good morning to keep the weight up. It's almost like a low bar squat, which is not my intention, but obviously when my back's tired, that's going to happen sometimes. Another thing you might have noticed if you are a floor position connoisseur is that I'm standing somewhere else. I'm not doing my 6 mile walkout. If you were a big fan of my marathon squat walkout, you may be disappointed to hear that I might not have to do that anymore. I managed to find a little patch under the rack that seems being the key word, relatively flat, so I might just squat on that patch for now. I know that's obviously pretty huge news. I have contacted most of the national newspapers in the UK, and I imagine quite a few of them are going to be running that story anytime soon, so watch out for that. They haven't given me an answer, but I think, you know, I can read between the lines. It's probably going to happen. This is my 4th set of 5. Again, you can see it almost looks like I'm doing a low bar squat, doing like a good morning. Again, I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty pleased I can do that. There was times in the past, a few months ago, when I would have ended up rolling that over my head and just jumping out of it like a girl. But I managed to save all of those reps, even though I was aware at the time they were pretty ugly. This is a good perspective here to see my form. Not great, but I wasn't feeling great, and I still managed to get them out, which is, like I said, it's really, really important for me, because obviously when you're going for those PRs, like if I'm in a competition, I know there's going to be times when I'm going for a PR and it's going to be a massive struggle, and I'm going to feel like my form is not great, and I'm going to be tempted to dump the bar, but the fact that I can grind them out and get all of these reps in is a massive psychological boost, and it's obviously going to be very helpful in the future, I imagine. I feel like every time I feel like the bar's going to go and I keep it up, it's like another kind of, you know, another boost to that that side of my I don't know, brain. You saw there I was pretty knackered after that. That's obviously a big effort for me, and I'm really pleased I got them. I then did some front squat accessory work, so I did 3 sets of 3, I think, at 120 kilos, that is, so obviously very light. It's 264 pounds, I think, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, just pretend that I said the correct. In fact, what you could do is pause the video, record yourself saying the correct poundage, and then play it over my video at the time that I say it, obviously in my voice, and then no one will be any the wiser. Here is my accessory work. I did some wide grip chin-ups, again doing loads of these because that's a weakness of mine. I did something like, I don't know, 15 or 16 down to about 10 for my last set. I look a bit weird and wonky and distorted here. That's purely the camera angle, I hope, otherwise I'm just unaligned freak. And then I did some cable rows with a pretty wide grip, again engaging all kinds of lats here. My torso is actually moving a little bit more than I would like, but unlucky to deal with it. I did 3 sets of 12-ish on these. In case you are unaware of this, in case you haven't seen my previous videos on it, when you are working your back, you have to pull from your elbows. Imagine the bar or where the handles, whatever you're holding, is attached to your elbows, and you are pulling back from there. Forget about your forearms, pretend they don't exist. You will get miles more back engagement than you ever have before. And I finished the session with some alternate dumbbell arm curls with a little bit of supination in there, going from hammer to normal. 3 sets of 10, 12 down to about 10-ish of those. And that was my session, and that was my week of squats. So, really pleased with it. PRs all over the place. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, as always, and I will see you tomorrow.